I'll untie you when we're done here. I'll untie you later. Just hold on. Oh fuck! What's going on, yo? Oh, I might, I might stop this abruptly. Um, I haven't told very many of you what happened on the 11th, but my my mom and dad were in a pretty bad car accident, and uh, um, they were both hospitalized, but my mom is still hospitalized because some dumb motherfucker decided that it was okay for him to drive down the roads with a tractor and a spreader after dark with no lights, and they didn't see it till the last second to send right into it. So yeah, they both got fucked up. I, I I just came back here to feed the animals, and um, I'm gonna try to get all their laundry cut up, and then I gotta go get shit done at my house. I'm probably yeah, one thing after another, right? What's going on, Dusty? Little fucker sent you. Well, I'll make sure he gets fed. Um, at least every couple of days. What's up? Yeah, I heard that, or actually, I saw it on your. I was watching. I think it was last night. I was watching something of yours, and I saw that. I think that's funny that she has her whole channel based on playing other people's shit, and then she wants to strike people for playing her shit. So I'll tell y'all what. Um, if somebody wants to do the legwork, I know she's used a lot of my stuff. If somebody wants to do the legwork, I need the link to the video, her video, and then I need the link to her channel, and I need all the time stamps when it starts, when it stops. If somebody wants to do all the legwork and shoot it all to me, fuck it. I'll strike on all of it. I don't care. Because fuck her, that's why. What's going on, General? What's up, Cat Eyes? What's up? What do you need help with? What's up? Come over. What is up, White Claw? Oh, you changed it from White Tard. I like them both either way. What's up, Melinda? I think I'm supposed to. Aren't I supposed to use? Uh, I should probably use this as an opportunity to grift for money, right? Isn't that the custom around here? What's up, Dominique? So yeah, mom had her knee operated on today. It caused both of them. Both of my parents had heart issues because of it, and they want to do something on my mom's heart, but she also needed her knee operated on, and they had to do the knee before they can do the heart because of the medication she has to take. And so she's gonna be away for a while, and Dad will not. Dad was released that night, but or was it the next night? I don't know, but he has not been home at all. He will not leave her side, which I mean, I knew that that's how it would be. So besides Big Moose getting nuked or struck or whatever it was, as anything else, it's always the same shit. Jeff lied. NTF shut down her channel, then brought it back. It's always the same shit again and again. You know, people act like they're interested in, you know, stopping Jeff or whatever, but they're really not because the only way to shut him down is to stop going on his fucking panels and stop participating in his chat. And even then, it's not really going to shut him down. That'll take a little time. So when somebody expresses interest in that kind of thing, but they're up on his panels or in his chat, you know they're full of shit. It gives them something to talk about. They don't really. Most of these fuckers around here don't stand for what they say they stand for. What's going on, Jersey? Yeah, if that Weasley little bastard that caused the accident, I better keep my fucking mouth shut. He's already, yeah, whatever. What's going on, Missy? You didn't miss anything. You're not really late. We aren't grading tonight anyway. The whole place is going to hell. The place went to hell a long time ago. It's just taken a while for people to notice. I think I posted the link if anybody wants to talk about anything. Maybe you can fill me in as to anything I missed. What's up, Tart Alert? Missy, I haven't gone live. I don't, I just looked at my analytics for the first time in a while. I've been live for less than 7 hours in the last 28 days. So you're probably not actually missing them. They're just not happening. What's up, Tony D? But I put the last short that I made um, has some pictures of the accident, and you can see that fucker. He didn't realize where I was at, and then he started walking my direction. I cover his face because I know this shit's gonna, whatever. I didn't want to do anything he could use against anybody. Um, but yeah, he when he saw I was staring at him, he turned around and ran the other way. And some, yeah. going on, Rob? Did he get arrested? No, not yet. Um, I think they're turning it over to the prosecutor, but he wasn't arrested on the spot. Tell you what, if I mean, it happens just right down the road from their house, in between their house and the next town. So I have to go that way. If I want to go anywhere that direction, I have to go that way. I mean, I could take a longer way around, but uh, he already called the cops on me because I did slow down and go by there, and because I was taking pictures of the skid marks, but I only went by his house twice, once on the way out and once on the way back in. And both times I went by slow, but it was because I was looking at the skid marks. I already know where he lives, but he called the cops and said that I was circling his house and he was in fear for his life. So the cops came and gave me a talking to, but like they know that he's full of shit because he had 1,000,001. He tried to lie his way out of it right after it happened. He had no lights at all on the trailer or the spreader, I should say. No slow moving vehicle sign, and it was dark. And he was trying to lie his way out of it. What's going on, Myth Clothes? Shit, what did I just do? Appreciate understanding Ryan with special ed. Well, that's nothing new. I mean, we already know that Ryan is an actual tard. What's he? What did he do now? Were you too rude to him? Missy, you're gonna have to come up here and tell me what happened because I'm totally lost. There's no such thing as being too rude to Ryan. He's a dumbass. What's up, Jenny T? They better not be stealing the native cocaine pipe artifacts. What's up, Treach? What's up, Shifty? You can go fuck yourself. Somebody get rid of that piece of shit. Go watch some other panel while you neglect your kids. Dumb fuck. What's up, FCC? Ryan admitted. Oh, he finally admitted it, huh? What is going on, my lady?
Hey, how are you?
I might.
Can you hear me
So
okay?
we're. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So what happened?
well, today Damone went live and it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours into it and freaking Ryan jumps into chat and, he comes up on panel just frickin' being Ryan. And, he has been on this kick lately of calling everybody pedophiles. He said that everybody in FCC's chat, if the FBI could only see all of our hard drives, like their heads would spin. And he said that FCC is a pedophile, and he said that I have serial sex crimes against children. And
You do?
yeah, that's what he said. Um,
Wow.
and he said that
I see Nanya's rubbing off on him pretty good, huh?
oh, he's been really, really bad lately, for like the last couple of months. He just I know that he's usually unreasonable, but even more so. And so, like, obviously, like, I haven't heard anybody say that they really believe that I have serial sex crimes against children. And, everybody knows that he's just talking out of his ass, but I haven't been on panel with him to talk about it. And so, I kind of got a little fed up and, was not really scolding him, but I was talking pretty harshly to him. And, you know, Tommy Boy was up there too. And um, just, just going in on him about the things that he lies about, the things that he makes up, the things that he chooses now that he wouldn't have chosen, like 6 months ago. It's just Ryan being stupid.
Well, it's the company he keeps.
Right. Well, but he's
I mean,
always
he's
been
always been Lion Ryan, but now
right.
he's using their tactics, making shit up on people.
Right. And I did say to him that, he's going up on everybody's panel and he's in everybody's chats, like defending Nunya and PHI and, all the people on that side. But do you ever see them go outside of their little echo chamber to defend him? No, they don't do that.
No,
So clearly
no,
he's
they won't go
putting,
anywhere where they don't control the kick button.
right, right. But he doesn't see that. He's just blindly following, which I don't know, like the voodoo that Nunya has. She just gets people to do this. And I know because I was one of them. Took me a long time to get out from under that. But, instead of him realizing what's going on, he's just diving headfirst into it. It's weird. I've been going through my camera roll on my phone, like my screenshots and my recordings and stuff. And, just listening to him from, a year ago or 8 months ago, he was a completely different person. Like, where's that kid? Can we get that Ryan back? Because this
I
one
don't know.
sucks.
He's really always been this way. He's just gotten a little bit more extreme lately. I've been saying the exact same shit about him all along.
Right. Well, and, I guess I always forget that you and him had, problems like before I came along. But, at least for me, he used to be tolerable. He's just not anymore. And I think maybe it might have something to do with the fact that because he's kind of chosen his little circle and that circle keeps getting smaller and smaller, he doesn't want to look like an idiot for leaving that circle. So he just has to go all in.
Yeah,
But it's the wrong move.
yeah. I mean, if you notice, the only people that are still in that circle, like they're people that like have legitimate like issues where they need to wear helmets. I mean, they all have things that you can sit back and easily spot. You don't. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose anybody, but I can say when somebody's a tard, and most of them are.
Right. Well, anybody that has ever paid any attention to me knows that I am an enthusiastic student of human behavior. And it's just fascinating, like watching these people and listening to what they say and trying to figure out why they are the way that they are. but I know to not dwell on that too long before my head starts smoking.
Right. It's
And
aggravating.
no,
You can't let it get to you, but it's aggravating. It's like beating your head against a brick wall to get people to understand until something slaps them in the face. And even then, sometimes they don't get it. I
right,
know
well,
it's aggravating.
that was exactly how Ryan was today, especially with Tommy Boy, when Tommy Boy was pressing him and showing him like all these um, double standards that Ryan has for him versus everybody else. And his his comebacks or his answer to that was like, yeah, yeah, okay. Like nothing. It's like he can't ever admit that he's wrong. Um,
Right.
and it's just frustrating. And Chad Con, I'm pretty that sounds like a Jilly alt to me. But yeah, no, he did not get under my skin. It was just the first time that I have been on panel with him. And, I guess I did put a little bit too much, I don't want to say emotion into it because Ryan doesn't really matter to me, but I put a little bit too much oomph and volume into my argument with him because I know that this dude has chosen ignorance and he will not budge.
Yeah, that sounds like Ryan.
Yeah.
It's kind of when you're talking to him, it's almost like Americans are really bad about when somebody speaks a different language than us. We think that if we talk louder, they will understand us, but they just don't speak our language. And it's the same thing with Ryan. You start talking louder, thinking maybe he'll get it, but he really doesn't.
Right, right. Damone always has people do like last words on his panels, and
Hmm.
I did not do last words today. I got stubborn and annoyed with Damone, so I did not do last words, but my last words were going to be almost exactly that to Ryan because he is such a freaking idiot. Such an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, he'll deny that he's autistic or whatever. I don't know what his official diagnosis is. Um, but it's so obvious that he literally rode the short bus and tasted the windows.
Well, that's one of the things, like, I don't know how much you have watched or how much you have heard, but one of the things that Tommy Boy was saying to him today was that, a while ago, somebody said that Ryan was autistic, and Ryan said that he had never been tested. But just recently, Ryan said on a panel that basically he was in special ed until he tested out of it in high school. So he may not have um, like a clear diagnosis, but clearly, like the school thought that he needed extra help in order for him to succeed. So, there's definitely something going on with him. And just the fact that you can show him the truth and have like proof to back it up, just the fact that he will not budge, that's that's a very autistic trait. So, I think that there's there's just a lot of subjective evidence that we have. Even, you know, if you like Ryan or you don't like Ryan, it has nothing to do with it. But if you just observe him, that's,
Mhm.
it seems to be pretty obvious. He's like
Well, he's
somewhere on
talked
the
in the past
spectrum.
how they forced him to take medications when he was a kid.
Right. Yeah, he's talked about
So
that just recently too, because he said that, it was these doctors like peddling meth to children, just talking about Adderall. And he didn't like the way that he felt on it. But it, it seems to me that even if, it was just some like one doctor saying that he needed to have this medication, I think that he said that the doctor said he had ADHD. And so they were giving him Adderall, but, you know, either his parents didn't seek a second opinion, or also the school thought that he needed to have extra help because He said that he was ADHD, he was put on medication, and he was in special ed until high school and then tested out of it. Do they not test these kids every year, or do they just test them in high school?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I probably
don't
should
know.
have been in the sped class, but I wasn't. So I don't really know how that works.
Right, and depending on your area, those may be harder to get into if they don't have like the correct teacher to student ratio. So, there's also that to consider
Well, I
because
mean,
if
and teachers are known for, like, they will pass a bad student just to get him the fuck out of their class. So, I mean,
right,
imagine
right,
all we have to do to get away from Ryan is turn off whatever panel he's on at the moment.
right.
Imagine being somebody who is forced to spend 8 hours a day with him in person. I mean, I would probably sign off on him too.
Yeah. Well, and I typically don't listen when he's on, but I'll read his comments when he comes in chat. But I don't really watch Nunez. Sometimes people say what's going on in there, and so I'll go over and watch a little bit, or people send me clips all the time, and so I'll hear it there.
Oh yeah, I
But
get that. Yeah,
when he was on Damone's panel, I'm up there on Damone's panel. So, I don't know. I gave him too much of my time and attention today just because, like, I just wanted to get this crap out and call him out on his bull crap, even though I knew it wasn't going to make any difference.
yeah. That's the thing. It's like you're preaching to the choir, and I understand it. It gets aggravating. I don't even usually let Ryan up here, and when I do, I give him like 2 minutes and then get rid of him.
Yeah,
Um,
Damone almost didn't let him up, which, I think Damone asked Ryan if he was surprised that he wasn't banned on his channel. And Ryan said yes, because Ryan's got everybody banned. I think he went through, I heard that he had gone through and like unbanned a bunch of people. I don't watch Ryan's channel. I don't try to type in his channel, so I don't know if I'm not banned anymore. But Damone is still banned over there. And then he thinks he can click the link and just go up. It's freaking crazy.
yeah, Ryan certainly has a lot of entitlement about him.
Yeah,
One of my favorite
definitely.
tricks is to, and I do this to other people too, but they come up in the basement and I just leave them there and act like I don't see them. And then they get all mad and they rage quit before they even get on the panel and go start their own live. I get kind of a
Right.
cheap thrill out of it, and I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, well, I don't go up on very many people's panels. So usually if I'm on panel, it's on Damone's, and I'm usually there like before he starts. And I've come up on yours a couple of times. Um, I've been up on FCC's a couple of times, but I don't try to go up on very many people's panels. So I haven't ever been like left in the basement to know how that feels.
I haven't either, but it really seems to aggravate people like Ryan and Telly. I don't know. It's never happened to me either. I wouldn't wait in a basement for very long.
Right. I wouldn't either.
I just wouldn't.
Yeah, I think Mitch muted me one time, and so I just left. But I was still on the panel. I just kind of like, all right, whatever. So I just left. Hey, Matt. Oh, this isn't
What's
Damone's
going on,
panel.
Matt?
I don't need to say hi to people.
What's going on, Mike? Man, I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but I didn't want to interrupt Miss Missy. She's pretty particular about whose panel she goes on, and I'm honored that she comes up here on mine every once in a while.
Yeah, you're one of the few. Hmm. Oh, see,
That's the
Frog
thing is most of
Fellowship.
them.
That's right, he did. Brian ran a stream to confirm that he was not autistic, but I didn't watch it, but somehow, is that the panel that he said that he was in special ed until he was in high school? I think it might have
I don't,
been.
I'm not even sub to Fireside. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it. Usually, what I hear about what Ryan says, if it's on his live, it's because Tommy Boy mentions it on some panel that he goes up on.
I see it. Like I will not watch Nunny's channel. I will not watch Ryan's channel or Jeff's. But I see it like when Big Moose restreams it. I see the stuff then, or
Right.
whatever clips people
Yeah.
send.
That's most of what I see of Nunez is if I go over to Big Moose's channel and I'll react and chat a little bit, but usually I'm like in and out. I can't remember. I think I was watching um a trial like a week or two ago, and I got an email that I was gifted a membership on Nunya's channel, and I kept getting all of these DMs with people just telling me congratulations on getting this gifted thing. And so I went into the chat, and Cars had gifted 5 memberships, and I was one of them.
Congratulations,
Yeah, thanks, Cars.
Poker Tonio. Those are them is fighting words. You can eat brine shrimp, just don't eat sea monkeys. That's cruel.
Dude, I love shrimp. Dude, okay. I haven't even seen sea monkeys in probably 30 years.
Well, they're trying to conceal us because they do not want us to have our equal rights.
Oh, you guys want
So
equal
they're
rights
trying
too?
to. Oh, absolutely. Um, that's my mission.
Mm.
We don't want extra rights. We just want to be equal. We just want to be able to get married and pay taxes and have equal access to titty bars. I don't think that's asking too much.
Oh, well, I was against it until you said you don't have equal access to titty bars. Like, definitely, if you send me a petition, I'll sign it.
Actually, there is a petition. Section 15 started. What's it called? Like it's a real thing.
For these,
Equal
for those
rights
sea monkeys?
for sea monkey. Yeah, we want our own emoji. It's to have our own sea monkey emoji is
Ah,
what it is.
uh,
But oh man, what is the name of that? It's a real thing though. If we get 100,000 signatures, then it goes in front of Congress or somebody.
well, there's at least half that amount of alts in this community, so that should be easy.
I haven't looked to see how many we have, but we had quite a few.
What is this, Hunt? I don't really have an accent. I think I am completely devoid of accent because I grew up in the Midwest.
Well, that's the thing is, as far as we're concerned, everybody else has accents, but we don't. But everybody else thinks we have a Midwest accent.
Ah, yeah, I guess I can see that. I know that there's a couple of words that I was raised to say, I guess, wrong, whether it's like regional dialect or whatever, but um, as far as an accent goes, unless it's like words that I pronounce wrong, I think that I think I just kind of don't have one. Jack Nicholson, the frick? I sound like Jack Nicholson.
She does kind of remind me of Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, I almost went to that hotel because it's in Colorado, but I didn't end up going. Yeah, like I say one thing that irks Damone is I say sweeper instead of a vacuum, and I think that that's like an Ohio thing. 'Cause my grandmother says it, and she was raised in Ohio. My mom says it, and all four of us
Yeah,
kids say
we
it. But
yeah, my most of my family says sweeper too. I do
see,
sometimes. Like if I'm around them I do, but otherwise I say vacuum. It's like the
see,
difference
that's why I
between
like
soda
you.
and pop, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, I knew I liked you for a reason. I've never met anybody else that frickin' called it a sweeper, but I swear it's just like regional dialect. And, it just bled over, even though my mom only spent like 2 years in Ohio before she moved to Colorado. That's how we were raised, just calling it a sweeper. And now it's just, I've been saying it for so long, I can't change it.
Right.
Does she, Matt? See, now I love your wife too. Frickin' screw Damone making fun of me for calling it a sweeper.
So you like me because of how I talk. I thought it was the dick pics this whole time.
Oh, well, you quit sending those a long time ago, so we're running
Well, I
on
mean, I
fumes
can
here.
start again, but you can only have your dick pics left on red for so many times before it hurts your feelings. So
I'll go
what's
check
up?
them.
What's up, Shauna?
I'll make a video, like a collage.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I've been working on um, a Ryan video today, and I keep getting distracted and haven't finished it. Oddly enough, I started it before Ryan had me all loud and boisterous on frickin' Damone's panel. Hey, Smashley.
What's up, Smashly?
Yeah, so I don't know what else I can tell you, um, because like I have not watched a lot of stuff lately. I missed Matt's panel, I guess, where a ton of stuff went down yesterday, maybe. And I was watching Cat Eyes for like half of her panel. And so I missed, I think, the main point of her panel. I miss a lot of NTF's panels lately, so I don't even have all of the information.
Yeah, I haven't been. I actually did see some of Matt's yesterday when I was sitting in the waiting room, but I didn't chat because I didn't want to wind up getting in a conversation with somebody because I didn't know when I was going to have to, get up and go back into the room or whatever. But I did see some of Matt's, but I missed all the good stuff. Um, I
Yeah,
saw
so did
people
I.
talking about it later. What's up, Richard B?
Oh, is Big Moose
That,
asking how to not get struck? Yeah,
I
I do
forget
a
the
ton of
exact words,
overlays.
but
What's that, Bill?
I don't know all there is to know about fair use. Um, YouTube, if you go to YouTube's guidelines, they have quite a bit about it in there. But
Yeah,
the thing is, as far as an overlay goes, I don't know. I sometimes people said that you can just change the speed, and then
yeah.
that
You can
will.
jack with the speed. Sorry.
What's up, Danielle? I was just gonna flirt with Danielle. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you can jack with the speed. You can mess with overlays. Um, it has to be transformative in some way. Um, you know, Nanya does those frickin' whatever stars or sparkles or whatever, and she just focuses on the chat when she replays stuff. But when I clip channels, especially channels that strike, I'll cut out some of the audio, that doesn't really pertain to, my goal or my point. But Big Moose does a lot more um like restreaming, whereas I do clips. So I think if you just do like an overlay And I think you have to like pause it every now and then and talk every once in a while. I think that also
Yeah,
makes it
it's every so many seconds, every so many minutes. If you make a comment or make it more educated, what transformative is a big word. I try not to use words that are any more than two syllables, but
you
um,
have to make it different.
it just gets me because, well, not really gets me, but I just think it shows uh, her ignorance and entitlement is a good word for her. Because her whole channel is based on using other people's shit, playing other people's shit, and then she wants
Right,
to strike somebody that plays her shit while she's making money on it.
right. Well, and it definitely is now. That's all she does. That's all she does is freaking restream other people's stuff while she's sitting there making fun of NTF for not having content unless people come up on her panel. But she doesn't make her own content. All she does is restream people and talk shit in between. That's it. Like, how is that fun? She's negative all the time. How's that fun?
Yeah, she's always. I think it's hilarious that all I have to do is make one comment in a chat, and she will fucking spurg about it for hours. So
Hmm.
if you want to look at it by what you put in versus what you get out, I put in very little effort, and she expends a whole lot of energy because of it. So that's a
Yeah,
win.
yeah. It doesn't really take much to piss her off and get your name mentioned.
No,
Like the amount of time that I have spent talking shit about Nunya is dwarfed by the amount of time she has talked shit about me talking shit about her.
dude, she talked more about my dick in 30 minutes than I have in the last 3 years. I'm like, she just kept saying Bill's dick, and he shows his dick all the time. And which, yeah, I talk about it, but not near as much as she would like for me to, apparently. But
Yeah, I think
having
I
her
am.
talk about my dick is kind of creepy, and yeah, it's just fucking creepy.
Yeah, that would be. I think she was one of the people that was talking about my boobs not long ago because she was restreaming um,
Squirrel.
Constantine for a while, and Constantine and Dream Floral were talking about me. And so, of course, she had to restream it and then talk about me. So, but I think the last thing I heard her say about you was asking how many babies you had delivered that day.
Dude, I brought up that I was in the room when my kids were born. I never said I delivered them. And then they, and plus one other person, she just wanted a guy in the room, and I kind of got put on loan. I didn't, it was kind of uncomfortable. Um, but I wasn't in there like staring at it like I was with my own kids. But they're like, oh, he said he delivered kids and blah, blah, blah. I never said that. They do that kind of shit all the time.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that they took something like a little seed and then they just frickin' blew it way out of proportion until it was a lie? Are you trying to tell me that's what they do?
It's hard to believe. I
Get
know.
out of here.
Uh,
Get out of here.
you know,
I refuse to believe it. Is that Poker Tonio friggin' talking about my nipple piercings? Like for real? How did you find that out? For real, for real. There are some loose lips around here.
hmm. But apparently they think it's weird for a guy to be in the room when their kids are being born. I didn't realize that it was such a foreign concept to them. So um, I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know. It's weird.
Nunya has at least one kid. Was her husband not in the room when she delivered him?
Apparently not.
Huh.
She probably don't know who the father is.
Frog door. Get your mind out of
All
the
right,
gutter.
I got 5 guys that it could be. Let them all in here. Ma'am, you can only have one. Well, fuck it then. I don't want any of them.
Right? Yeah. See, Christy, my now ex-husband was in the room. Didn't really think anything of it. Just thought that was normal.
Yeah, I mean, you have to sign a paper saying that, like, if you faint, you get pushed in a corner and treated last. You know, um, and then when the nurse was asking me, she said, are you gonna film the birth?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we filmed the conception, so why not film the birth too?"
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I'm gonna hop down unless you have questions. I mean, I don't. I'm really the last person to talk to about news, but
No,
you asked me to come up and talk about Ryan, so
yeah, that's what I wanted. Whatever had happened that I hadn't heard about, um, I appreciate it. I would rather get it from a reliable source. Not that I would like try to go find it or anything, but yeah, I would rather know what really happened.
right. Well, he was up on the Moans for I don't know, felt like 3 hours, but Damone was only live for like 3 hours. Um, and mainly it was just me being loud at Ryan and Tommy Boy being logical with Ryan and Ryan just being his
Well, that's where
retarded
things
self.
went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan
Because
doesn't.
you
It's just
can't.
like we were talking about talking louder to get people that don't speak your language to understand you. Ryan
Yeah,
doesn't speak logic.
right, right. He's a brick wall. That's exactly what he is. And so I don't know why he keeps going up on panels because he wants to spew his opinion and get people to change theirs to agree with him, but he will never ever budge, even in the face of freaking clear proof. He never budges.
Oh, I know when he had a couple of females take advantage of his gullibility and disdain towards me, and like I posted some text messages and um, some other things. I'm like, Ryan, the proof is right there. All you gotta do is go watch that video. Well, no, it's not. It's not there. There's no video there. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's right there. No, it's not. Like, oh god. At that point, you just gotta give up and let him think what he wants.
Right? It's like arguing with Teddy Ruxpin. Like his answers are not going to change. You're just going to drive yourself crazy.
I actually have argued with Teddy Ruxpin. That motherfucker still owes me $20.
I miss Teddy Ruxpin, dude. They don't make toys like that anymore.
Yeah,
I remember
because they're
being afraid to
dangerous and
stick my
frightening.
finger. Yeah, I remember being afraid to stick my finger in his mouth while he was talking because my brother said he would bite it off.
He will. If you put
He'll,
Metallica in a Teddy Ruxpin, you better watch your digits.
I believe you. I freaking believe you.
Oh,
All right, well, I'm
Furbies,
gonna
man. You
hop
remember
down.
Furbies? Those things were.
Oh,
All right.
bro.
Well, thanks for coming up.
Well, so just on the Furbies thing, real quick, like, so those luckily didn't really get popular until I was too old for that kind of stuff. But they were awful. Like they were so annoying, and people that love Furbies were so annoying.
Yeah. My daughter was a toddler when Furbies started getting popular. Of course, she wanted a Furby, and that thing was a curse from the beginning. We went to Toys R Us. It was either Toys R Us or KB Toy Store. I think it was Toys R Us. But anyway, um, like they had just unloaded them, and there was one left, and it happened to be a red one that she wanted. Hang on, I gotta let somebody up here. Hey, what's going on, Sam? I want to finish my thought before you
Hey.
take over the panel.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so I grabbed this Furby and I put it in the cart, and this black lady. Oh my God, because he's black. This is to give a better description of what happened. Um, she reached in and grabbed it out of my cart. Well, I was lucky; one of the employees had seen it happen, and she was all like, "He took it out of my hand, this motherfucker," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's like, do you stand your ground against a woman, or do you just let it go? But I ended up with it because a store employee had seen it happen,
You
and security
stand
came.
your
But
ground against a woman. That's what you do. You
because it
stand
was
your
for your
ground against a
kid.
woman.
Hey, so um, can I ask Sam something while he's up here?
go for it.
I typically don't answer any more questions in this community, but Missy, of course, I will make an exception for you.
Uh,
Go ahead.
See, this is why I like you, Sam. Okay, so and Bill, if this is too much drama, you just let me know. I just want to ask Sam, I understand your view on victims, and obviously it's important to believe when people share stories, but um, I want to know with your, I don't want to call it a tirade because that has a certain connotation, but you did get, kind of forceful, a little bit emotional going over the Zuzu story. Um, had had you heard all of her story before you went up on that panel to talk about it like that?
No, I haven't and didn't listen to her, and I guess the only place to find it now is on Damon's channel. But I hadn't listened to it all of it. I think that more so I was moved by what some people were saying about it and the reaction they were having to the reaction. So I
Right.
can't, in truthfulness to you, and only you, and Bill to a little bit, I didn't listen to her whole story, and uh, the details that she said. Allegedly, at one point, I guess she said that it was like she was going to have to go get therapy to sort of, if she misremembered. I don't know exactly what it was said. I was planning on discussing it sometime after I listened to all of it. But my overall point of view stands that
Right.
I don't change what I said at all.
Well, I don't think that you were
So
wrong in that. I think that, I mean, I could kind of tell that I didn't really think that you had listened to the whole story. Um, and so that's, why I wanted to ask you. I don't believe that she has not been abused in her past before. But you're right. Like what she said was that these memories are just now coming up. And so she was going to go speak to, I believe she said a psychologist, but I may be misremembering that. She wanted to go talk to some sort of professional to see if these memories are real. So she's not even 100% sure that it happened. And,
well,
whether that's, that's neither here nor there because I do believe that she has had some sort of trauma. We talked about it a little bit today on Damon's panel. Clearly their repressed memories are a thing. Um, but it just seems like somebody threw, gasoline on this fire of repressed memories that don't make logical sense. But I do agree with you that, um, you know, it's not okay to kind of come after survivors because everybody's story is different and the system does fail people every day. But when you listen to the whole story, like there were so many systems that would have had to fail this child that it, it just kind of, you know, it the math ain't mathin', but I never said anything about, her not, suffering some sort of trauma in her past. I just have questions and doubts. I will admit it straight out. I have doubts about the whole hospital part of it. And, she never really said that if she was 9, was she not going to school for this amount of time? I mean, you go to school for what, 9 months out of the year? She would have been showing going to school, and no adult saw her at the grocery store or the mall or anything like that, this 9-year-old pregnant child.
And she survived being beat so hard that it killed her child at 9 years old, was it? And she either didn't get medical attention at all and survived, or like she got medical attention, but the doctors somehow couldn't tell that she had been pregnant on a full examination. Look, I hope to God that that story's not real. I don't think that it is, but I think fucking Nanya and James were sitting up there gassing her up, and just they, I would have shut that shit down, especially once I realized it was
Right. Well, and
bullshit.
I do believe that Nunya said that she had walked away from her computer and so she couldn't
Oh,
shut it
sure,
down while the
sure
story
she
was
did.
going on. But I think that James has um, the ability to kick people or whatever, but he wanted to hear more and he wanted to show his
Well,
support for her. So
he could have said, "Hey, do you think this is a good place to do this, or a good time?" You know what I mean? I
yeah,
listened to the replay on Damone's, I think it was. So I did hear that.
yeah, Sam, I think that you should
Um,
definitely listen. And I, even if it's like in private, like I would love to hear your take on it after listening to the story, even if your take is exactly the same, because I have always respected your opinion. Um, and so, especially, running a survivors network and all that kind of stuff, I would just like to hear your take on it after you hear the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna say some stuff more on it once I get, once I'm able to listen to it in full and, uh, you know, basically take in more that obviously you guys have taken in. However, I would say that a couple of things, people were. I actually am not uh, of the idea that when someone makes an allegation, that they should automatically be believed. Uh, as my own story, I've I'm very comfortable with when I tell people in my life that maybe even were part of the story to a degree. Parents, friends, family that could have maybe seen some things or noticed some things in me, or other people in my life that were hurt by the same person. That I'm not even, at my point, my perspective and point of view is that just because one makes an allegation of sexual abuse, whether child or adult, all of those allegations should be scrutinized uh, in the proper setting.
Right,
So, and that's critical. In the proper setting, every allegation that someone's making, because again, if you look at statistics and data, which I have, and I study this all the time, is that the reality is between 5 and 15% of accusations of sexual abuse are false. And so, I
right.
think
It's a
one,
powerful weapon that some people use, and they shouldn't use that.
it is possibly the most powerful weapon that someone could weaponize against someone else.
Right,
And so I am not of the opinion that you should automatically be uh, believed, quote unquote, if you make an accusation that doesn't, now that accusation can come with supporting evidence That accusation can come with corroboration. That accusation can come with objective evidence, and it can come with your credibility. Did your story change substantially? Did you alter the facts to make you or the people around you seem better
Well,
or
she
Mhm.
said herself that the story might not be real. I mean,
yeah,
they were just taking advantage of whatever her issues are in her head.
yeah, right, and I understand that, and that's the other thing. That were you manipulated in some degree? We know that some of these stories, and if people believe that that her story, but I just think that it should be done in the proper setting. Is my only, not my only, but one of the things that I kind of want to say. And I really didn't want to talk about this right now, Missy. I was just coming up to hang out with
Well,
you, but of
then
course
save
you
it.
get the
Then save
biggest,
it for your
hottest,
live.
you get the most drama loaded into your first and possibly only question, and then I take over Bill's panel, and then things go chaotic. So perfect. But I think that my point of view is that people should be able to tell their story whenever and wherever they want, and they should be able to tell. I'm not of the opinion that as Bill said, that it should have been shut down. I think that if in that moment she was comfortable in sharing her story, I think that I'm more of the inclined to basically put up a wall that Trump nor Biden didn't build, and Mexico did not pay for it. But I would actually put up a wall and get Mexico to pay for it when we have someone that wants to share their story. And it's sort of like, if there's anything off limits here, anything, it should be the scrutinizing of people's stories about their own abuse. Whether you choose to find holes in their story, as Tommy Boy is prone to do, I mean, he kind of he never gives the gig up, right? He never gives his stick up.
That's why I
That's
like
his,
him though. He
that's his,
keeps you on your
It
toes. He
it
keeps you
used to
honest.
be
that's,
that
yeah,
way. We used to have a couple of channels that have gone
Right.
inactive where that was their whole point, was for people to tell their stories, and
Well,
people
and
could do it. And yeah, there were some that sounded like they were probably bullshit, but nobody said that, you know.
right. Well, but see,
And people just aren't comfortable around here anymore.
another important aspect of this, Sam, that I don't know if you've seen is apparently this parts of this story, except for the getting pregnant at 9, parts of this story have been reported to have been basically, hijacked, stolen almost verbatim from another person in this community. And, Warbot has made sure, that he says everywhere that this story is somebody else's story verbatim. And I trust him. I did not hear that person's story. And so I can't really throw my hat into that ring, but I do trust, what Warbot says. So um
well, I mean,
that's
if that's the case, then why wasn't the scrutiny placed on that story then? If I'm not quite sure that does really, okay, if you're going to question her story that she copied another story,
well, the
but you're
scrutiny is
also,
coming from
but
the her getting pregnant at 9.
well, you just said she copied, you said that there's another story in which someone made a similar allegation, but that story is credible, whereas hers is not.
Well, only because like the first part of that story doesn't have to do with her getting pregnant at 9. It's like it's the sexual abuse part and the physical abuse part.
Well, so
And
then,
as far as
y'all,
I know, nobody is scrutinizing that part of Zuzu's story except to say that it's almost verbatim somebody else's story. All the scrutiny is coming from the pregnant 9-year-old and delivering in a hospital and being told by the nurses, here's your dead baby. You might want to call your mom. That's
well,
where what people are scrutinizing, not the other part.
right. Well, then the story is not, as you just said. In all fairness, you just said that the story is almost verbatim, and then the biggest part of the story and the most tragic is not anything that allegedly the other person stated. So I guess it's not the same story, and it's not verbatim if one story is literally completely different with the major components than the other story. So
Well, it's not two different stories. It's just added on to. Like, from what I have heard, the first part of Zuzu's story was verbatim another community member's story. And then it was just expanded upon to add getting pregnant at 9 and delivering a stillborn baby.
okay, well, I'm not sure exactly what verbatim means, other than, is it the age that's verbatim? Is it
I
the
think it's just
aspect
the
there
abuse.
was?
I think it's
Okay,
the
well,
abuse part. But
there's millions of girls that were abused when they were under 10 or when they were 9 or 8.
right,
So
yeah,
I'm not
I
exactly sure what. I mean, if that is the only particulars of it that is notable, you know, similarities, then, well, you could just say that about millions of other cases. But
well,
in
the details that
but
she had were
regardless,
very specific about the abuse.
well, look, I'm not. So you're kind of getting me down the missy hole. I'm
Whoa,
going down the
whoa,
missy hole.
Sam,
I'm going down the
whoa,
missy
Sam.
hole, and
Lucky
I've
man.
been too deep in, and I kind of want to hit the brakes.
Yeah, well,
But
you can hit the brakes because
I'm
I
gonna hit the
really
brakes.
don't want to
That's
steal
a
content from
Yeah,
your
no,
stream.
it's not content. It's just, I had an idea of how I wanted to maybe say this, because people have, of course, lied. People out there saying what I said. Why didn't I say this? Tell you, why didn't I ask Nunya about PHI's son, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll probably say some more stuff on it when I can watch that stream. I can gather my own stats and my own research about what it, sort of what it means to who gets to say, like, who decides when
Right.
someone's story is credible and not. And basically my problem is that, and I heard some people say, like, oh, if she was, if it, because she's not 9, I, I have a problem that when children that were abused and now are adults, somehow there's a degradation in their credibility. There's a suspect with their story, and there's a skepticism that's not normally applied to children making allegations when they're children. There's a human disconnect between a 9-year-old girl comes and says, hey, or a boy comes and says, I'm being abused by whoever. Boom, they're at the highest priority. A
Right.
50-year-old comes forward and says, at age 9, I was abused. Uh, I,
So are you
I
saying there's kind of like a
hold
mental
on 1 second.
statute of limitations?
Hold on, let me get through this first. And to me, the same type of support, understanding, advice, if there is any, I am going to generally have the same, whether I believe something or not is immaterial. It's someone's own story that they claim, and whether they're 9 or 15 or 50, it makes, I'm more inclined to help, particularly, or want to support adult survivors of sexual abuse that were hurt as kids and never really got justice. And it makes me very uncomfortable when we start scrutinizing someone's story and basically playing with it like a piñata. And this wasn't accurate, and that's not accurate, and this could not be possible, and that would be, I think I have a problem with that. And yes, of course, people could be making stories up, right? Like I just said, even in the case where cases are prosecuted, between 5 and 15% are false accusations. So, you know, someone saying it over the internet could certainly be embellishing it or whole cloth making it up. I'm uncomfortable with, because I'm uncomfortable with applying scrutiny to someone's abuse story in a way that's been done in the last week or two. And look, I mean, she may not be telling the whole truth. She may have said that she may misremember. And I think that in the chance that she's not misremembering, in the chance that she is telling the truth, and for all the other victims out there that were indeed abused, I think it's a very bad precedent to try to attack someone or try to trip them up, Tommy Boy style, in his same old shtick. Like, leave that to me. Like, come at me and make up the fact that I and lie and claim that I sold the Florida catches for $25 million to the National Choir. Come at, like, make up stuff like that, Tommy Boy.
Hey,
If you
can you
need
loan me a couple of
a
bucks,
target.
Sam?
And what?
Can you loan me a couple of bucks?
No, I paid it all to a lawyer so I can sue the hell out of Tommy Boy Studios.
Oh,
It all went to my legal team. And well, so it's like, and again, it's like there's no guardrails of, hey, this is probably a topic that, Tommy Boy in particular is so invested in these gotcha moments. He's so invested in these gotcha moments that I think he loses the plot regularly. And this is a perfect case in which I wanted to spotlight, where he is so invested in himself, spotlighting people's discrepancies, that he was willing to go there. And whether she's telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, who am I to judge? I wasn't there. And it's really not for me to, even if she, in the possibility that she's not telling the truth, uh, taking her on in the way that's been done around here in a community of survivors has a harmful impact, in my opinion, of other people's stories that indeed were abused, and they are truthful when they tell their stories. So that was
right.
my.
Well, you and I are quite the pair to be talking about this because you haven't heard the whole story, and I haven't heard the original story that is being reported by people that I trust as being taken from another survivor. And, so we, both of us are kind of not the right people to be talking about it.
Well,
But
yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it
let's
should be.
say
I,
hypothetically, Sam, let's say hypothetically, we were able to get a hold of the stream, which I'm not suggesting that anybody go digging this up, but if we were able to get a hold of the stream where this original or the person who is purported to have said their story first, and then we compared it to Zuzu's, and it was actually verbatim, except for the addition of being pregnant at 9. Um, how would how would you react then?
I guess it's the same example of E. Jean Carroll that won her lawsuit against Trump. I guess I would take the same sort of opinion with the Carroll lawsuit, that she was a big fan of Law and Order, and her story alleging that Trump sexually assaulted her in a Bergdorf's changing room aligns with, I don't know verbatim, but pretty close, allegedly, to a Law and Order episode of which she self-described as being a huge fan of. Does that does that bring in that she's discredited? Does that mean she's absolutely 100% had to have made this up based upon another storyline? I don't know how you make that judgment. Like,
Well, and we'll never
I
have the
would
proof.
hate to. I guess it makes people afraid that, my God, I hope someone doesn't have a story similar to mine and they told it first, because now no one will believe me because they think I stole it from somebody else. You
Right.
know,
Well, when I talked about my abusive ex-husband, um, I'm not going to lie, I would be kind of pissed off if I heard somebody else saying that their marriage was exactly like mine, if they were just telling basically my story from their mouth, knowing that my details were um, unique and hard to duplicate, I guess, I think I would be kind of upset, not that, you know, that abuse identifies me as a person, that was so long ago, but I would be pissed off. Like my abuse is not your sob story. It's not even my sob story. So why is it that people are now yelling for people to respect you and your story when that's legitimately what I lived through? I'm just
Well,
trying
you're
to
you're you're
look at it
implying
from,
you're implying with certainty that someone completely copied your story, had no trauma themselves, and latched onto your story and then ran to the internet and say, "Huh, I dislike Missy so much that I'm going to cause her further trauma and bring sympathy to me by fabricating that her story happened to me." You're making an assumption there that someone did completely do that. Yeah, no, I mean, if someone makes up a story based on someone else's story, I I I I believe that they should be scrutinized, and they should be, in your story not being one of sexual abuse. I think that, I think it's generally more okay to provide heavy scrutiny.
I,
Again, ultimately, someone claims that they were sexually abused. I think the scrutiny should come from a jury and not a bunch of internet trolls and clout whores and Tommy Boy Studios that want to continue his same shtick of, you know, gotcha moments. And, I think he stepped in a mess, and now all he can do is call me a scumbag when, in fact, I'm just using his own shtick against him, and he doesn't
well,
like it. So, you
there's
know,
no way that you're a scumbag because you bathe more often than anybody else that I have proof of in this community.
that is true. That is true. One thing you won't be able to say if you meet me in person is that I smell. I don't smell.
Right, right.
So, uh, but anyway, I did want to compliment you. I wanted to catch you before you escape. You did great with Ryan. I'm one to your patience and your level headedness and your calmness pisses me off sometimes. Okay, I'll be real. And you got a little bit heated today, and I heard
I
in your
sure
voice
did.
you got a little angry, dare I say. And I like to see that, Missy. You had a little fire in your belly, and you manhandled that little bitch.
Well,
And
thank you. Thank you, Sam.
I like more of that, Missy, and you may make co-host if you accept it. Well, co-host. Me and
I'm
Jilly,
not,
Jilly,
no,
me and
no.
Jilly are still going strong. So
I'm very happy for the two of you. I will never be co-host to
not a
Chili.
threesome. All right, we can't get you for
No,
a threesome host.
no.
All right, no
I
problem.
I am monogamous AF. So you got to ditch
I,
her first. I'll start getting that fire a little more often and see if I can't, draw your gaze away from her.
G
But
A Z E or GAYS? Which gays?
well, it's Sam. Obviously, it's not GAYS because the dude is
right.
straight AF, right, Sam?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. But I mean that doesn't stop people from wanting to really people with the gay stuff is great. But whether I've dabbled in things here and there over my life, but I think people
Oh,
almost want me to be gay. So
yeah. Well,
which is okay, and
people love
mostly
to
it's
pick at you.
mostly allegedly straight men that sort of fantasize or demand that I be gay. So I don't know. Uh, maybe I'll surprise people in
Well,
more ways than one.
Sam, I do appreciate your opinion, and thank you for saying that. You know that I've always messed with you. much to the
I'm like,
chagrin of some of the people that I hang out with.
they're all
I'll just mess
losers.
with
Don't
you.
worry. You hang out
Well,
with a
that's
bunch of
true.
losers. You hang out with a bunch of losers. So, truly. But anyway, you're you're the only W in that horde. But yeah, I did enjoy watching you today or listening to you. You were good, and I think it brings great joy for people like me and Bill that have been on the receiving end of Ryan's mental health crisis and lies and
Hmm.
antics. That you were able to bring him down a few notches and express your emotion that what he's saying is, I mean, he called someone a pedophile today who he had because of an internet beef. I
Who
don't
did
think
he call today?
what.
Who did he call that
Well, he said
today?
today, FCC came up on the panel and asked,
Oh,
"Do
yeah.
you have a pedophile?" And Ryan said, "Yes, I do." I can't think of anything more discrediting in this genre than someone
Hmm.
claiming that someone's a pedophile because they scrutinize you or people you like, and
Right. Well,
using the power of your performance or job when you last caught a predator 50 years ago, when a woman blocked you from the predator to protect you. When you use that bully pulpit to go around claiming people, I just can't think of anything that's more discrediting and despicable than to use that platform to go around calling people pedophiles. And I don't think Ryan has a place in catching
They
at all.
they have cheapened and destroyed what this community used to be about.
right. Well, and
This is
it
not
just
the pred
it
catching community anymore.
it hits different when somebody whose passion project is catching pedophiles calls you a pedophile with, no proof,
Right.
and Matt, you're not going anywhere. You may be a missy whore, but you're not going anywhere. But yeah, he called FCC a pedophile, and he said that I have sexual assault or sexual abuse charges against children in the same stream. Oh, there's one of my other whores. Hey, Zippity.
Yeah. And he's constantly said that I have no place in helping survivors, which has been all but ignored by me and everybody that I've helped. Because
Well, okay, so can I
but
just say
but I think
something? I
truly,
I know that like he went live after that. All I heard him say was that nobody should run a survivors network in this community, not even Sam. And if I know anything about your survivors network, like most of what you say is that you don't talk publicly about the actual work that you do. Like it's not anything that we can like find out unless like we dig or we go through it. And so what right does he have to say that you are not allowed or should not be allowed to help survivors? I mean, it's freaking lunacy.
right. And this is the part of the thing where it's not for internet clout. It's truly not, because I don't raise any money. I don't, only sort of people close to me that know this is not about anything, much to Tommy Boy and others and Ryan that want to malign me using the things that I actually do. I actually do benefit a number of people that are not in this place, that in my own life, outside the lens of this community, that have nothing to do with anyone here. I know of people that have been hurt, and I do a number of things, including one of my biggest things is helping people confront their abuser in a safe and uh, you know a very safe and therapeutic way. And I've developed a really good process for that, and I've gotten and recruited a number of pretty good catchers that have been involved or were involved or still involved in catching predators that want to be a part of exposing predators that have real victims, and the victims never got justice. And so, I take this place as anything. With They can say that, oh, like I said, like on my last stream, like, you can please assume in this community, I would hope people assumed that I was just bullshitting, so that they don't go digging in and trying to hurt people, or trying to expose victims, or trying to, like, please, I hope that the takeaway in this community is that I do nothing. I make all of this up that I do for survivors, even though I very rarely come into this place anymore. And I've
Yeah,
been
I've missed your live streams.
well, it's just like there's so much better things that I could be doing with my time. One of
Hmm.
them being, how much time am I wasting in this community when I could be? I mean, I've got a stack of things that I could do for for adult survivors of abuse, and
Right.
it's just a completely waste of time. And
Well,
it's an
one thing that people cannot say about you, Sam, is that you're not passionate about what you do.
yeah.
Like that reads clear as day. Whether it is you're catching with, I don't even know how much money you put into that Florida trip, or, going on a catch with Tommy after your guys' history, or talking about your survivors network, or even just sticking up for a victim who you haven't even heard her whole story yet. Nobody can say that you are not passionate about what you do.
Yeah, and I also get into like the idea, like this main character syndrome that many people have accused me of, and it's when people can constantly, is I guess Tommy gets in the same issues, that you're constantly scrutinized, you're constantly attacked, and you do get sort of this main character syndrome. And so I want to avoid that, but I just wanted to make it all about me and this and that. But I did just want to say that Ryan's calling people pedophiles in the last couple months, and it's nothing new for people like Bill who know what. But I don't see how he could go out and catch anymore. His recent behavior is, I mean, you're willing to call someone a predator who you don't know is one.
Hmm.
I don't know how you say anything.
Exactly. How is he? I mean, he already didn't have any credibility as a catcher or anything else, but now that we know for a fact he calls people pedophiles when they aren't, how can we trust any of his catches? You know?
I, I mean, that's the problem with this, is your credibility, and your credibility matters. It doesn't just necessarily come down to the chat logs. It's your credibility too, that people have to trust what you're putting forward is a true and accurate reflection of what happened. And if you're willing to go there with, your enemies, or you got to do this and that, I don't know how you catch anymore, really. And so he wants to say I shouldn't be working with survivors. He shouldn't be working on catches. And it's no surprise that, as big as Alex has become, he didn't bring Ryan along for the ride.
Right.
Ryan is not in any conceivable way connected to predator poachers. I don't know if he ever was, but obviously we know that he gets a check every month that he doesn't deserve and doesn't work for. But other than that, I don't know what he actually does, if any, for predator poachers. And there's a reason why. Um, you know, Alex sort of shunned him without throwing him under the bus. And I think we should all just look at how Alex treats, or doesn't treat, or doesn't include Ryan in his. I mean, why isn't Ryan on these trips with Alex, these nationwide hunts for predators? I don't know.
Or why
Kind of
doesn't
got
he
left. He got
decoy
left
for
on.
him?
He got left on the short bus when what?
He doesn't even decoy for him, right?
No,
If
I know.
if
I mean,
Ryan decoys, why doesn't he decoy for him?
yeah, and I don't know, when Alex said he employs a dozen people, does he consider, like, is Ryan not an employee? I mean, he's Envy Cat brand.
Well, I mean, Alex just needed a platform to inform people where to go when his original YouTube channels got taken down. Luckily, the one he got back somehow. Um, but Alex just needed his platform, and Ryan wasn't doing anything with it as far as actually catching predators goes. So Alex just tossed him a little bit of money. I mean, I don't know exactly how many it grew after Alex took it over, but it was a lot, and it wasn't because of Ryan.
Right. I
Right.
mean, if
But this is
anything,
why, you know,
Ryan does negative, like he has a negative impact on that name.
and if you want to look to like why we have, macroeconomics and microeconomics of why we have such high inflation, it's people like Ryan that are picking up a paycheck for doing absolutely nothing. I mean, and he has, $2,000, $3,000, whatever it is a month that he didn't work for, that he picks up a check for. And so, when he has that money, it's like, geez, well, I mean, that's why, because the dollar doesn't matter as much when you don't have to work for it. So I don't know. Anyway, so we have inflation basically is Ryan's fault.
Yeah, all I'm hearing is everything is
global
Ryan's fault.
inflation is basically, we can pin it microeconomically on the Ryan. So
I love it. I
anyway.
love it.
Bill, do you like that, Bill? Is that do you think that was
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, can you just imagine like something as simple as like his toilet overflowing and he doesn't know how to turn? And sadly, I have to deal with tenants like Ryan all the time, where they will sit, a lot of them Gen Z, and let a toilet overflow and overflow and overflow. And they don't know that right behind the toilet, there's a shutoff that you can turn left and right. Lefty loosey, righty
Is
tighty.
that really?
And you can turn the water off within 10 seconds. That could prevent $100,000 worth of damage to your unit, other people's units, if you're in a condo or townhome, your personal property. All you have to do is twist for 5 seconds. And yet, people like Ryan, probably, who has his head in his ass, is exactly the kind of people that I have to deal with a lot. So anyway, another problem with inflation. Now I gotta repair $100,000 thing when someone could have just twisted righty tighty.
I bet if more people knew that there actually is a ball and cock in that toilet tank, more people would probably be willing to reach into it and push that little flapper down that stops the water from going into the bowl.
Dude, Ryan is to blame for inflation. Ryan is to blame for expensive home insurance policies. Like
Absolutely.
this has been a very informative panel.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to come up and say hi to two of almost my favorite people, pretty close to my favorite people.
I'll take almost.
And my I just been so I'm gonna have more things to say about victimhood and where it's appropriate, but ultimately, overall, if someone over the internet claims that they were abused or hurt, for me, that's off limits for me to deep dive into their story. For me now, and if I think that people are being unfair, and I think that people are Tommy Boy Studios doing his thing, that just to make a point, just so he can make a point, I'm going to call it out. And that's what I did in this case. And, I'll have more further things to say later on. But
Yeah, I am
maybe on
eagerly
episode
awaiting your dissertation.
Maybe on episode 3 of No Apologies. We'll see.
No, please don't do it there. Please don't do it there.
Well, I mean, episode 3 has had its fits and starts here. We have not put out, we've slowed down significantly, much to everyone's happiness.
Well, I don't watch Jilly. I don't listen to Jilly. So if you do that on your podcast, then um, I will just unfortunately have to deal with whatever opinion you share tonight.
Gotcha. Okay,
I
so you're a
just
one.
don't.
You're a litmus test voter, one issue voter. It's Jilly. Jilly's there. You are not. You're one
Well,
issue. Like many people.
it's because I don't believe that she's credible, and I think that you having her with you on any subject only makes a mockery of it because she is she's she's just a filthy troll, and I don't think that I can ever trust anything she says because of the things that she has, you know, said in the past. So,
Well, bookmark that. I do want to defend Jilly's honor, but my phone's about to die, and I got to jump.
aw, darn it,
Thanks,
darn
Bill.
it.
Love being up here, Bill. So glad you went live, and I'll be listening.
All
Thanks.
right, thanks for coming up.
Bye bye.
Is that
Bye,
is
Sam.
that the real annoyed? Holy
I
shit!
think
I'm
that's the
honored,
real,
and
and it is the real annoyed.
I like McRibs also.
Yeah, that's the real annoyed if he called me McRib. I annoyed. All right,
I was
so
actually earlier. I was just thinking about asking if anybody's seen him around lately.
I think he called me that in a chat not long ago, like within a week, and somebody said something about them coming back soon, but I don't know. It's probably been 2 decades since I've had one, so I don't know. And
Yeah,
because I
they're
live in a weird little area, we don't get those things like when everybody else does anyways. We never get shamrock shakes, and I'm pretty pissed about that.
hmm. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. I don't know if we still get them or not.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm just pissed for no reason. That's pretty female of me,
Well, I mean that's as good a reason as any to be pissed. So you may as well.
right? All right, well, thank you for having me up, Bill. I'm gonna hop down for real this time, but
All
I
right. Well, thanks
appreciate
for
you.
you can hop on me anytime.
Oh my gosh. All right, have a good night.
All right. Later. Yeah, annoyed. Come up here and identify yourself. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of Shamrock Shakes, but being as they're like a once a year thing, I would get probably about one a year. And McRibs are totally disgusting if you know how they're made, but damn, they're good. McRib shakes. I think you're onto something. These tatas do in fact matter. That is a true statement. We don't discriminate against boobies around here. All right, what else do we have? Anything? Anything? I don't know. See, I don't want to say somebody's story is bullshit. I think sometimes some things are so horrific we don't want to believe that they're true. And sometimes, people's credibility is just shot in the ass. There were a few stories that, I mean, everybody publicly anyway showed their support, but when Jules was doing these kinds of things all the time, and with people who've started panels in like the last year or so, people just don't feel comfortable sharing their stories anymore. They claim that they're for victims, but they're for victims when it gets them attention or money. But you'd feel like a real tiny little prick if you called somebody's story bullshit and then like they proved that it wasn't. So it's got to be done carefully. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this stream is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends because they don't sponsor enough bullshit channels. I would like a sponsorship from Raycon though. Did Ta really grift to visit his mom? I have no idea. That'd be a better question for somebody that actually watches him. Tommy's been leaving comments on some of my streams. He comes in, proves himself to be a jackass, and runs away. Living rent free in somebody's head is weird and hilarious. I hear Tommy's not been going up on panels. He's probably hiding from his probation officer because he ain't supposed to be drinking or doing drugs on probation. And he knows that the first time he's spotted, somebody's going to turn his ass in. But don't worry, he'll fuck it up. What's up, Dr. Mortician? Sorry if I missed anybody, but I saw a few slide in here. I just didn't want to interrupt the conversation earlier. Tommy is big spooning Gen A. Interesting. Anyone else lost their top and on their fourth can of market? Damn, Danielle, I'll be right over there. Just stay drunk until I get there. Oh, God, tequila makes me naked pretty quick. All right, yo. I got it. My dad just texted me, so I gotta see what's going on there. In the meantime, I think Big Moose is restreaming Jeff. So if you're gonna watch Jeff, do it at Big Moose's. Yeah, I should be using this opportunity to grift for money. I can't believe I'm passing it up. Pull over. Oh, it's pull over live. Fuck, man, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have went live if I. Yeah, go check out. I didn't even get a notification for him. Damn it. All right. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. All right, go check out pull over and tell him I send my apologies and tell him I sent you by threat of gunpoint. All right, Missy. Yeah, we'll do it again. Somebody drop pullover's link, please. I didn't even get a notification that he was live, or I would have shut this down. Everyone knows. Yeah, actually, I do know a couple of mics that are douchebags. I'm not saying that this one is, because I don't know, but yeah, don't go to Jeff's, go to pullovers. And then if you want to watch Jeff, watch it on Big Moose's. Damn it, somebody drop. All right, you're all fired. Somebody drop pullover. I thought I sent you his link at one time, Danielle. Maybe not. He's not live. God dang it. Somebody got me. All right. You're all fired. Head on over to Big Moose's then. But first, I need some titty pictures. Fresh ones, not the ones you keep sending. Pat Conway live. Right. All right, y'all. Stay naked.